Hi guys, this is Jason, and first I want to thank you for those who of you made a purchase on these gasoline model excavator. And first thing when you get your excavator is that you want to take out the covers like this and check the bolts, because some of the bolts are sometimes just loose or just need to get tightened up. Just always be safe to take it out and check, and it only takes you about 20 minutes to take out the cover, so it's very simple. Okay, all the bolts around and around the engine, the weight plate, inside the compartment here, and check all these little bolts on the pins. Okay, these pins, sometimes they are loose, and then at the same time just grease up all the joints. For those of you who are still deciding whether or not to make a purchase of these, what I want to do right now is just want to show you around the tractor and just allow you to see how simple the tractor is made. So hopefully that will answer some of your questions, yeah, let's get to it. So when we look at all the hydraulic stuff, it's just very simple. We have a bank of valves here. We have the valve bank here that controls all the functions, auxiliaries, the boom, digging booms, swings, all that kind of stuff. And you have the foot pedal. I disconnect the foot pedal so I can take out the covers off. So to the left side of the tractor, you have the hydraulic fluid tank. You have the fluid gauge. It shows the temperature and the fluid level. And let's come over here. It connects into the hydraulic pump, which powered by the motor. We'll take a look in a little bit. So the fluid comes out with a 3/4 inch hose, a 1/2 inch hose, into the valve blocks, which is right here, mounted onto a thick 1/2 inch plate. And all the valve blocks right here control the foot pedal, digging arms, tracks, all that kind of stuff. So right here is the check valve. That prevents the losing of hydraulic pressure when the engine is off for the digging arm, the main arm and the front digging arm. Okay, and if we look down, we have the turning motor. This is right here. This is a house motor, which is very simple. It's just mounted straight there. A lot of rooms if you ever need to change out the motor. A little harder is the one that's down there. That's for the drive motor. Okay, and then let's continue on with the engine. Okay, so now we look at the engine, and the engine right here is the California certified engine, Bragg & Stratton, and it's a green label, which we'll see in a little bit. It's very simple. It's mounted on a just engine mount right here, and this is the housing, and which protects the connector coupler of the engine shaft to the hydraulic pump. Okay, let's continue going. If you look at right here to the right side of the engine, there is the throttle and the choke, which throttle is connected to the throttle control out here. Okay, and every time you want to start the engine, you just have to flip the choke. What you can do is also you can run a wire to the outside of the tractor. It's just easier to operate that air choke. As we continue on, we have the hydraulic cooler. This hose here is the hydraulic return. So hydraulic returns through a filter first before it goes into the electric fan cooler. After the hydraulic fluid passes through the filter, which is a canister filter, very easy to change. It's just right here, plenty of room when you do your maintenance. Passes through the filter, comes out this hose into the radiator. So this is the hydraulic cooling fan radiator, and the hydraulic fluid goes back to the tank. And then you have your battery. It's just mounted on the right side of the tractor. Okay, and now let's take a look at the engine label. Okay, so here's the green label, California EPA CARB certified. Just make sure for the California users, you want to request this label if you do import one. And if you import with Landscape Buddy brand, this comes standard. Okay, so you have the starter right here, and this whole engine assembly is just a stock from Bragg & Stratton. And let's take a look at the other side of the engine. And so what we are looking at right here is basically a ignition switch, hour meter, light switch, and a throttle body. So for the electronic of this machine is just the light switch, ignition switch, and the hour meter, and a few wires right here. Okay, so it's very simple. If you do need to change out the ignition, if you want to change to like a car ignition or something, you can easily do that just for thief protection if you want to. And let's take a look at the engine right here. And this engine we're looking at is just basically 14 horsepower rated, Bragg & Stratton Vanguard engine. Is very nice. And also you have a pull start in case your electric start breaks and you don't want to change out a starter or something like that. You can just still activate and pull the start. I think that's it. Not much to show. So yeah, these are super easy to repair if you ever need to. To turn on the engine, first turn the ramp handle, and that's just to hear how it sounds. Flip the choke, turn the key. Sounds pretty good. And this is the most basic model with the gasoline engine. And the battery shut off. This is the easiest way that I find of how to put the covers back. And this is how I put the foot pedal controls back. They're just 2 bolts. And also you can adjust the control here. So as I put back the cover, I just put the small bolts in without tightening it, just temporarily put them in. And also pay attention to the sequence of how I put the handles back. Otherwise, if you don't put in this sequence, you will have to disassemble the handles individually and assemble them back. It's just a little more time. When it comes to put the side panels, you want to put the side panels first and then put the back panel. I temporarily hold it with the small screws, and then I would put in the hex bolts. Pay attention, there are 2 spacers on the side panels. Once I finish both the left side and the right side panel, I will put in the back panel. it's all done. All the panels are back, bolts are checked tight, ready for work. Please leave me your questions and comments down below, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Please hit like button, and I will see you in my next video.